So, ending the fear. There's a lot of fears that people have. So, why do I fail to achieve freedom, for example?
Or why do I fail to dissolve the fear?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same. That's it. That's the answer. Why?
So here, probably the people, who want to be free from the fear or who want to achieve the true freedom, the tendency is the world is looking in the mind to dissolve the fear or to be free from the fear, you know, and and enlightenment is about dissolving the mind. Now, do you see that? One is looking in the mind, and one is dissolving the mind completely.
Which is kind of contradictory thought for most people. How can you do anything if the mind is dissolved?
Firstly, the mind is already a realm of struggle.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a fun as well.
Yeah.
It's a fun and struggle combo together, right? So, and the mind is basically exists from the place of experience. Whatever we have gone through in life always bring idea, and the idea sits in the mind, and the idea is building up.
And that's the goal for most people, is to build the ideas and the thought process and to learn. And
in the living world, in the environment, when we have to work with other people, then to build anything outside, it goes in a credential way.
yeah, it's credentials. Sure.
So, and a credential is actually building up through the better experience. The experience that is in line with the nature's way of things. When we start to see how things works outside, how there's a stacking things, building block happening, then once we have that perception, then we bring that in our work, then we can grow better. We build up the credential, we build up the material stuff outside this body, and we can have a lot of stuff.
Right.
And that's that, right? But that comes from the understanding the nature's way of things by through the witness process. Witness and experiential work, and that is a trial and error process.
Right.
But we're going back to why do I have a hard time figuring out the freedom or hard time dissolving the fear, is because people are trying to look for the answer, look for the freedom in the mind, and looking for the freedom in the mind is a temporary release kind of stuff.
Right.
Because when you look in the mind, there are some of the ideas in the person is kind of supportive for the life outside. So for example, there are certain ideas floating in the spiritual world is relax, don't think the negative stuff, meditate, do yoga, all these things are there, and then we associate it with those things, and those are the temporary fix.
They're temporary fix only at best.
Yes,
right?
And still that kind of work is actually running away from looking the situation that we're going through. We're just running away from that pain by entertaining our ego self and doing other stuff.
So it's a way of plugging the holes in the dike with your fingers, but when you run out of 10 fingers and there's still more holes, you have a problem, right?
That's a different way to say it.
So no, but it's a temporary stopgap. It doesn't solve the problem. It's just makes you feel better short term in your mind. Right?
Yeah, and then now we have this kind of perception in us. Some of the things are temporary fix, temporary, freedom. So we in line with those things and with those things. But that is still looking into the mind, right, and inviting layers to be free. That is momentary. And no matter how much we look into the mind to figure out to be free and figure out to dissolve the mind, it's impossible, because the mind itself is an experience, It has not an experience is always changing. It brings also belief. The belief is also changing. We are trying to find the answer in the changing world. And true freedom is the unchanging.
Right.
So how to figure out the freedom, true freedom, or how to dissolve the fear by looking into the changing world. So looking into those is a failure to be free, failure to dissolve the fear. So how to dissolve the fear and be free is by dissolving the mind and by deconstructing the mind. That's the way to do it. And the reason the world is failing to be free from the fear is because of they're constantly looking into the mind, constantly looking in themselves. And if they can't find the answer, they are seeking outside on someone
other else to tell them what to do.
Some other minds, the outer mind, and their mind and your mind is actually the same. It's the mind that is built from the experience, and the experience is not real, and we are trying to look into something that is not real, and we're just denying something that is, something that is life supporting.
Right.
So how to get there is, instead of looking for another mind to get the best answer, you dissolve the mind, and dissolving the mind is dissolving the fear. Dissolving the fear is true freedom.
So the hive mind, the collective mind, where we're all kind of feeding into mass culture and different ideas and thoughts, that kind of hive mind where we're collective? Or are we really truly individuals and unique in the way that we need to come to terms with the fear within us?
Here, the collective stuff, right? Connect to someone's mind and in line with someone's mind is a reference to, to build something outside.
It's the physical
for the physical world.
Right.
But also to hear someone's mind can be also to look into ourselves as well.
Right.
Because we are speaking now, our mind, like the perception is coming out, the words are coming out. Now someone
I hope people can understand it.
Now it's a reference for the people
to
go inside and figure things out.
Right.
So the collective world, some mind is speaking out, coming out as a reference to go back in ourselves.
Right.
And some reference are to multiply things, outside this body. So those are the scenarios, but to be free, we got to dissolve the mind. Looking in the mind is a failure. That is the way it is. I can guarantee that if someone has found the truth by looking into the mind, let us know, or at least let me know, but there is no way people can find the true freedom in the mind, because to see who we are, we gotta let go the mind.
Right.
Mind is the layer in us. Who we are is the background that allows all the layers, all the minds to come in us. So the freedom is about figuring out that which allows everything, that supports everything.
Right.
So what is that?
Right.
And the seeing that is dissolving the fear, dissolving everything and being free.
Right.